Sit down. Wait. Sit. Back you go, hey. Put your head back. Put your back. Okay, go on. Good morning everyone and welcome to another video. Today what I'm going to do is take you through a day in the life, just a sort of business as usual. What does a typical day look like in terms of admin, in terms of work, in terms of how I fill my time around training, around all the obvious stuff that I normally post about on here. So I'm in the car now, about to head to the Royal Commonwealth Pool for a 6:30 booking for a swim. 50-metre pool. I've got 200 steady swim, 50 kick, 200 pull, 10 by 100 meters and 200 easy swim to cool down. So once I've got that done, I'm going to go and park the car as close to Waverley Station as I can, and then I'm on the 9:07 train down south to Birmingham to meet again with the Gymshark Innovation team ahead of a few exciting projects. I'm gonna get my swim done. I'm gonna see you in the car park, just sort of run you through what the rest of the day is going to be looking like and keep up with what I'm up to as I go. But one thing to request from you before we go any further, and that is, if you do enjoy this video at any point, please do drop it a like, please do comment down below, and please remember to subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, really helps me push out more content as we go, which is something that I want to do, and hopefully you do too. So if that is the case, get on side, will you? So right, I'm gonna head off. Off we go. I wish the small car had a bit more of a powerful engine, because that would have been a bit more dramatic, but nonetheless, see you soon. Alright, here at the Commie Pool, and I've just sank an absolute blinder of a parallel park. Last space in the place, and it was tight, but check my session, it's actually quite technique focused rather than being 100 meters today, so I'm going to crack on with that. I've got some fist drills, some DPS strokes, and a fair amount of kicking, which in a 50-meter pool is kind of brutal, because if you're in the medium or the fast lane and you're kicking, you're moving like a snail. So I'll report back shortly. See you soon. 45 minutes of drills done. Felt pretty comfortable, to be honest, but yeah, the kicking and the fist drill where you basically swim, I was swimming 25 with my fist closed, and then the second 25 with my hands open, slowed me down and probably should have been in the medium lane. Oops, nobody telling me, sorry. Going to head into Edinburgh now, well, more into Edinburgh now, and try and find somewhere I can park my car overnight without costing £1 million, as it's extortionate around the station. So might have a long walk on my hands before my train at 9:07. I'm going to get my breakfast from Pret in the station, I think, as I went to make overnight oats last night and realised that I didn't have any milk, didn't have any yoghurt, and didn't have any frozen raspberries. So threw a little temper tantrum and decided I was going to buy myself a pleasant breakfast. So that's this morning out of the way, but I thought I'd take this opportunity just to give you a bit of an overview of sort of how my mornings typically look. Today is a Tuesday, so we're working to a weekday, but at the moment I am getting up at 5, and then 5 till 6 I'm having coffee, breakfast, and just a sort of either a little bit of reading, spend some time with the dogs, and then I'm either training at 6 if I've got a double session, so I'm training 6 till 7:30. If I don't have a double session, I train in the evenings, and then from sort of 7:30 through till about 6 or 7 at the moment, I'm at my desk, which is quite brutal, but lots of work on the go, which is exciting. All good, busy, and then in the evenings I'm getting my second or single session out of the way, and that's how it looks on Monday to Friday. Saturdays are up early, out early, long endurance session, but I'll give you a bit of a debrief on the train of what a typical day looks like and fill out the gaps throughout the day, just so you understand what I'm up to at the moment. But I'm going to find a parking space. Hopefully it doesn't bankrupt me, but we shall find out shortly. You could not make this up. That is the second time today I've got the last space in the area I'm trying to park, and let me just show you what I've managed to pull off here. don't know if anyone else would be as proud of that as I am, but wow, what a morning of parallel parking. Big wins on this Tuesday so far. Right, I'm gonna head into Edinburgh and maybe grab some food on the way, but gonna get my stuff sorted. See you soon. Alright, so I decided to walk the whole way in rather than get the bus to stop spitting rain. I could have actually got the train as well, but alas, not the case. So 8:10 now, I've just got off the phone with my dad. I tend to speak to him once a day for half an hour or so, just talk about things that he's much more experienced than I am in, like cash flow and day-to-day existence within managing businesses, which is always very valuable, and it's just good to speak to people given the year we've had and haven't seen my family as frequently as we normally would, so try and stay in touch. But it's just a case of waiting for this car. Breakfast secured, had myself some porridge, got myself a croissant with cheese and bacon, and an almond croissant, but crack on, get down, heading south. We're changing at Birmingham New Street, and then at some point soon I will catch up with you and give you an update on what the rest of the day is looking like. To Birmingham International now from New Street. It is 2:25 2 and basically got good morning of client work done, just a bit of general social media catch up, caught up in emails, caught up in WhatsApps, and planning ahead for the next couple of days. Whenever I go on trips like this, I need to get a few days ahead just so it doesn't catch up with me or get deafened by the train noises apparently. But 50 minutes away from International, going to head to the hotel, drop her stuff, and then going to head to the lifting club to get an upper body session done.
It's more like an Arab Spring, but
awful. Session number 2 of the day, upper body session in what is as close to Iron Paradise as I think the actual Iron Paradise itself is. So bench press 105 by 5 for 2 sets, 95, 2 sets of 6, bent over row, strict press, lateral raises, and dumbbell bent over row. But if you think that's all I'm going to do today, you are sadly mistaken, because I have a whole room full of toys to play with. But I'm not going to go mental, because I do have a full training week to go, and I have already swam today, but I'm going to get this close to tearing a pec and call it there. So we'll see what happens, but I'm just going to play around with a few exercises I haven't done much of recently. 2 sets of each. 4:30 now, no real rush the rest of the evening, got as much work done today as I need to do. A few things to pick up the rest of the week, but as I've said already today, client work, WhatsApps, emails, a few things laid out the rest of the week. Blocked out diary, bit of planning, bit of prep, but the focus of today is training now. Focus of tomorrow is some time with the innovation team, and then back in here tomorrow before we're back up the road. So if you want to see what a man looks like being as close to a pig in shit as possible, then
with the 9mm sound.
Job done, a little bit more than was prescribed, but I did have a lot of fun, I must say. So it is 6:15 now. Can confirm up there just to make sure. But not much left on the agenda today in terms of comparing this to a normal day. Probably worth doing, given that this is a bit out of the blue. But most of my structure is I try and get as much done in the morning as I can each day. Double session, get done first thing, train around this time most evenings if I can. Sometimes I'll be at my desk until 7 and train after then, but this is pretty good going. So a little bit more work back at the hotel, dinner at 7:45, a few beers, might get a pizza because done a lot of work there. Definitely earned that one. And then a bit of reading before bed. That'll be that really, but I'll catch up with you soon. Gonna get showered, get changed, head back to the hotel, and go from there. So, I spoke too soon, as I've actually had a few things pop up this afternoon, early evening, that require my attention, a few client questions, a few programming adjustments to make, and I've actually had some requests from corporates for speaking next week for Mental Health Awareness Week. A little bit late in the day, as I address these HR departments, but I shouldn't say that, as they are kindly reaching out. But as there is a bit of time pressure, I'm trying to firm that up tonight so that we can get something booked in and sort of scheduled in for next week as of tomorrow, because that would just be easier for me to schedule next week. But whilst today's been a little bit unconventional, travelling around, etc., this is sort of what a day looks like in terms of the ad hoc here or there, addressing what pops up and cracking on. The business as usual stuff is the client programming, the questions and communications that go around that, the developing the modern mind as I book in different speaking opportunities for myself and for a few others, especially the Mental Health Awareness Week coming up next week. Then just the ongoing comms with brands, ongoing meetings with people here or there, just a lot of general networking and developing several different things at once really. And training, 2 sessions today, eating in between obviously, and yeah, anything else that pops up. I'm a little bit behind on the accounting day-to-day business as usual side of things. A few invoices that I need to process and sort out. I've actually got an error in the accounting software I use that I need to address so that those are coming through properly, etc. But I can do that all later in the week when I'm just back at my desk with everything in front of me without needing to phone Erin to check something, etc. So whilst I'm on the road, I'm going to focus on the must-do, the non-negotiables, address any firefighting or anything that comes up urgently on my phone or on my laptop when I can. But I'm going to get back to people now with 20 minutes before dinner, so a bit of a, not a power hour as it's 20 minutes as I've just said, but I'm going to try and get through everything now, head to dinner, try and switch off, but if anything else comes up, I'm going to get back to it on my phone, which is easy enough. So the modern world is a fascinating place. That is me. I will see you at dinner. I will dramatically close this laptop, but that's not going to work because I need to crack on, so I will see you soon. Goodbye. Alright, so just back from dinner there. Had myself a lovely wood-fired pizza with some skin-on fries and a ginger sticky toffee pudding with custard and rum and raisin ice cream to finish. Delicious, quite a big day of food. Probably gonna have to undereat a little bit to account for it, but nonetheless I have had a good time. So hope that gives you a bit of an insight into what a day in the life looks like, I guess. A little bit unconventional given that I'm back on the road, but you know what? That's what normal life looks like when we're not all locked up in our houses, so deal with it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure that you've given it a like and that you subscribe down below. Otherwise, I don't know what you're doing, honestly. That's pretty much it from me today. I'm gonna jump in and read a little bit before bed. I'm gonna catch up on a few messages. I'm gonna phone Erin, and then I am gonna take a snooze before a 6 a.m. tempo run for an hour at 7:30 minute mile pace tomorrow morning. So that's it. Over and out. See you next time.